and welcome to Assorted Crackers. I'm Eric. I'm here with Lee and Wilson. And we're bringing you a cocktail quickie. One of our big themes that is don't be afraid to try new flavors. And Lee and I discovered something about our friend Wilson just the other day that we were kind of surprised at. And that is our friend Wilson has never had a martini, ever.
That is true.
So how do we not do a cocktail quickie on the martini, give you an opportunity to experience your first martini, and then talk a little bit about it?
That sounds great.
That sounds amazing. So I, with Bill's help, put this together, producer Bill. Martinis are pretty darn easy, actually. It is basically 2 parts gin to 1 part dry vermouth, not sweet.
So what's the difference?
Between sweet and dry?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. I think that...
I'm just curious because I don't...
So the vermouth is always, it's a fortified wine.
Yes,
so,
I knew that.
Yeah, so it's got to stay...
So the key is what other kind of vermouth you use. So it could be a dry or it could be a
I understand.
A sweet.
But
so
I just didn't know what the
sweet.
I know, but what's the difference between,
Yeah, dry
That's
and
how you
sweet.
get the dry and the sweet.
There's definitely a difference.
So the dry has to do also, if it's dry, then it means it has less vermouth. But less vermouth.
No.
It's not?
I don't know. It's sugar, but
Less
sweet.
sugar?
Think about it. Sweet has sugar.
Sugar? Man, we need to cut
thought
that.
we knew what we were talking about.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
I think Pat was right when he wrote in and said that we don't really know a lot. Isn't that wasn't that
We know a lot about a lot of stuff, but we really don't know much of anything.
All right, so back to the drink. So 2 parts gin, 1 part dry vermouth. Lee and I are enjoying it in the traditional fashion with an olive, little slightly
No, I
dirty.
think it's the other way around.
Hold on. Traditional for me.
Okay.
Little,
I'll give you that.
And a twist, while Wilson and producer Bill, no olive, it's considered clean, I guess. Is that the way?
That's correct.
And just a shout out to Waymar Gin. This is, again, homegrown, local distilled gin product going into Wilson's very first ever martini. So cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Okay. Well, that was fun.
Well, and I would say I do not like olives at all. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's probably why I've never had a martini, because I do not like olives.
And you didn't realize you could have a martini without
with just a lemon twist. So I've learned something new today. I
you're
appreciate being educated.
You're going to grab a hold of the teeny nation now.
That's why we try new flavors.
We'll see.
Yeah.
So Wilson, we're waiting.
His pinky went up. His pinky went up when he drank it. That's for sure.
It's not bad.
Yeah,
not bad.
I like I like the food. It's not bad.
It's not. But you taste the kind of the sweetness and juniper of that gin.
Yes.
And I really like the
lemon.
olive. The olive does a nice, and the lemon does. You gotta cut that back a little bit. Just a little.
The lemon makes it nice and tasty.
Yeah. And of course, when you think of a martini, what do you think of? What's the first thing you think about?
James Bond.
James Bond, shaken not stirred, which is how we had that. But you in preparing for this show discovered a little trivia, or I guess you already knew this. James Bond original drink was not the martini, was it?
No, it was called the Vesper. And I would like to give Philip Smith a shout out to that. Who we
former guest on the show.
Former guest on the show, who we have enjoyed having on the show, and he is at a avid listener.
Yes, he is.
And so, we always bounce ideas off each other. And so we were talking about it, and he goes, you need to have a martini. And I was like, okay. And so we were talking, and we were talking about, Ian Fleming wrote all the James Bond books. Mm-hmm. And I think Ian Fleming liked to indulge in the spirits a lot. And so
apparently, when you hear what this Vesper
and
is.
so the original drink in the books was not a martini. It was a drink created by Ian Fleming called the Vesper.
Yes.
And the Vesper had, I think it was 3 parts vodka, or three parts gin, 1 part vodka.
Yes.
And 1 part
vermouth.
No.
Oh, no.
1 part Lillet Blanc.
I'm just getting a headache just hearing you talk about this. It just sounds terrible.
And so we passed on having a Vesper today, realizing that just may be too much.
Yeah.
But so that is kind of the history of how Ian Fleming, and then I guess with the movies, the martini was much more of a classic drink than the Vesper.
For
much more well known. And also, so the martini was created in Martinez, California in the 1860s.
Didn't know that. That makes an awful lot of sense. They just shortened it.
Yes. And so anyway, that's where it came from. So it is an American drink. It started out with the sweet vermouth, but changed to the dry vermouth in the 1890s to 1900s.
Yeah, I would think sweet vermouth would just be too much with the gin.
And then with Prohibition, the Martini popularity exploded.
Yeah.
Because there was bootleg gin. So
I'm picturing flappers. I'm picturing the speakeasies.
And so the dirty martini did not really come into existence until the mid 1900s.
So I mean, I called it traditional because every martini I've ever had has had an olive. But you're saying the original martini did not have an olive.
No,
but the olive it's the olive juice that really makes it the dirty.
Just a splash of olive. And I did, Lee, give you just a splash.
I know.
In addition to the olive.
I see it. It's not clear. It's just got
a little foggy.
It's got a little tint to it.
Yeah.
So we were talking about James Bond. I thought one of the interesting things I found about James Bond was, obviously we all know, you've already quoted it, the shaken, not stirred was one of the most recognizable catchphrases in pop culture.
That's how he ordered.
That was in the Diamonds Are Forever 1956 movie is when he first quoted that. However, martinis that are traditionally, they're stirred, right? So stirring it, chills and mixes without much of the dilution or cloudiness. When you shake it, by contrast, you're going to get it chilled faster, and it's going to break up some of the ice in there, and it causes the drink to be a little cloudy. So that accelerates a little bit of the diluting and that kind of stuff, and it kind of gives you a little more texture and mouthfeel to it.
I will say this. I like it shaken as well, because when they bring it to the table, if you're ever out for dinner or whatever and you order a martini, it is just, there's something about that gin. It just gets really cold, and it's just a nice, super cold drink. It feels great.
Well, I mean, I think that the reason that it was so cool for that was because James Bond wanted to let everybody know that, hey, man, I don't have time to mess around. First of all, I'm different. I know exactly what I want. I pay attention to details.
Yeah.
And I need you to shake it and get it cold fast, because I may have to get out of here and kill somebody.
That's right. So James Bond, classic, enduring character in movies. Who was your favorite James Bond actor? Let's start there, and then we'll go into movies.
You just want to rank them all?
No. If when you think of James Bond, who is the actor you're thinking of?
I would say Sean Connery first.
Yeah. Sure.
And then Daniel Craig.
Oh, and then, wait, you're missing somebody kind of important.
Who, Timothy Dalton?
Roger Moore.
Yeah.
Roger Moore. I don't know why, and maybe that's my era, but Roger Moore to me is the vintage James Bond.
No, but those movies were not as good.
Wait a minute. You're about to get something thrown across the table. Okay, quick trivia.
Let's get it.
Live and Let Die with Roger Moore, filmed in South Louisiana. That was the one on the bayous where they walked across the alligators.
Where the AMC car turned into a airplane, or where they mounted the wings on the car.
I'm going to have to trust you on that. I don't remember that, but I do remember this, because in the Guinness Book of Records to this day, the longest boat jump ever recorded was in Live and Let Die in Lacombe, Louisiana, right around the corner from where Bill and I went to high school. In the swamps of, I think, the Hung Island Swamp. So they literally jumped a boat over a road. There's a famous picture of the sheriff in the movie standing there in this boat going over their heads, going to land on the.
Did you ever try it?
You know what? Yeah. And it did not turn out well at all.
I'm just thinking of like Moonraker, Octopussy.
Yep.
Those were not my favorite James Bond movies.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Fine.
I mean.
Yeah. So you're Sean Connery.
Yeah.
And Lee, I think you nodded your head to Sean Connery.
I like Sean Connery.
He is classic. He's pretty classic.
Daniel Craig's, he's pretty bad.
Don't even.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome.
Don't even with me on the Daniel Craig.
I mean, the special effects and all the stuff nowadays. I mean, come on.
So Wilson, you've told us what James Bond movies you weren't a big fan of, but what is the one, like, let's just say there's somebody who's never seen James Bond, doesn't have a clue what you're talking about, and you want to introduce them to the genre, to the character. What's the movie that you would have them watch?
I thought Goldfinger was pretty good.
Goldfinger. That's a pretty good one.
I enjoyed Goldfinger.
Do you remember The Man with the Golden Gun? I know that's totally
that's
different.
Good too.
That's creepy. What about you, Lee?
I have to admit, I did like Live and Let Die.
Live and Let Die was amazing. And the theme song.
The Beatles. Paul McCartney.
Paul McCartney. Da-da-da,
with a remake by.
Da-da-da.
Guns N' Roses.
Yeah. But one of the things you loved about James Bond is the villains. The villains were pretty amazing. You've mentioned a couple of them.
You Only Live Twice was good too.
What was it? Jaws was the guy that
with the iron teeth.
Yeah.
And who was the guy he had a hat with like a razor brim? Odd Job. Yeah.
He was in Goldfinger.
That was Goldfinger. So they always had this super creepy, weird villain, and it was James Bond solving crimes and fighting the villain, and all. He would win battles with his wit, not his brawn, because he was awfully clever as he sipped his martinis.
There you go. He always got the ladies.
He did. Oh, talk about the lady. There were some amazing female characters.
We had Jane Seymour.
Yeah.
Wow. Is that Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman?
Yes. You had
Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman.
Yeah, well done.
You had Ursula Andress. You had. There's been so many.
Oh my! He slept around. James Bond
Halle
slept
Berry.
around.
Halle Berry.
All right. So a little twist.
Okay, like a twist of lemon.
Like a twist of lemon. Hey, in the 1970s through the 90s, what happened?
The 70s,
60s, 70s, 90s, gin did not do as well. So people started coming up and it became the teeny crazy, world changed.
Yeah.
They put vodka in it.
Not a
They
fan.
started making it all vodka.
The
Then
vodka
they started coming up and you got the lemon drop, the espresso, now you see in all the teenies. They're everywhere. And people like to drink them.
I mean, I'm all about trying new flavors. You know that. But when it comes to the martini, this is my
It's got to be gin.
It really does.
Are you pinky out when you do it?
Got to be.
I work on that. I don't know.
Got to be Thurston.
Thurston Howell. Did they have gin on Gilligan's Island?
I'm sure Thurston did. He probably had it in his
He had
bag.
a stash.
I have to admit that I've been in a restaurant one time and they brought me something that it was a bourbon drink, but it was in like a martini glass, and I drank it, and then I looked back when I ordered the second one and I said, could you bring that in a big boy glass and maybe make it a triple or something like that?
Now I've had a Manhattan in a martini.
Yes, I have too, and it's not the same. I like it in a rocks glass, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I think the martini has to be in a martini glass. That's just
Without a doubt.
Okay.
And we're not exactly in a martini glass. What's this called again, Bill? This is a coupe, like a coupe de ville, but
or a sherbet glass.
This was my one-legged grandmother's collection of crystal.
Okay,
she had a coupe.
There's a story.
One-legged?
My one-legged grandmother. Come on.
Yeah, well, she was.
So really?
Yeah,
one leg
for sure. Yeah, she after my grandfather died, she insisted on living by herself. She was very independent, very strong woman. She was a nurse with the TVA, and my favorite story, she had one of those little rascals. And
Tallahatchie Valley?
And she lived, TVA, Tennessee Valley.
Tennessee Valley.
And they lived kind of in a cabin in the foothills of the Smoky Mountains in Robbinsville. And she went out to get her mail one day in her little rascal, because again, very independent woman, very strong. Got her mail, and it had been raining.
That's the three-wheeler.
Electric motorized vehicle. And so
Little rascal.
The rear wheels got stuck in the mud, and she's out on a rural road, and is spinning her wheels and honking her little rascal horn. And nobody could hear her because there were no neighbors.
No cell phones.
And so the worst part was, this is a terrible story the more I think about it. The neighbor dogs, so the neighbors did not keep their dogs enclosed. And so the dogs at some point heard the horn on the little rascal, and they came and terrorized her. They didn't bite her, but they were kind of circling her and biting her. And so when she eventually was freed and able to get back into her house,
When she was free
and
from
she tells this
the rabid
story.
dogs.
She tells the story with great pride. She went inside and made up special hot dogs for these dogs and fed them to the neighbor dogs, and they perished because my one-legged grandma poisoned the neighbor dogs because they went after her. When
do you remember the commercial for the Little Rascal?
These are her glasses. I'm a little rascal in my little rascal.
I'm a little rascal on my little rascal.
Oh my gosh.
So here's to one-legged grandma. Thank you for these glasses. Two glasses.
Dog killer.
How did she lose her leg?
She diabetic neuropathy.
Okay, all right.
She was.
Was she a swimmer?
She was not pleasant. I loved her, but she was not a pleasant woman. She was
Kind of like
harsh.
Ad
Well, I mean,
Edna
wouldn't you be a little bitter too if you lost your leg?
Oh no, she was like this before she lost her leg.
Oh, she was?
Yeah. But she was the one who I told the story earlier about my granddad's copper still worm from my great-grandfather's still when he was illegally manufacturing moonshine.
Yeah.
She was the one who gave me that still worm.
Okay.
So there's that.
So she did have a warm spot for you.
I think, yeah.
The copper wire was the best part about it, huh?
That's right.
Golly, Bill.
I feel like we need to get back to James Bond.
that
was a tough diversion.
That was a good martini, by the way.
Hey, how about that martini?
I think we have to do some editing.
Well,
Nah, that was a good story.
You think it was a good story?
Oh, yeah.
Wilson liked it. Well, guys, here's to more James Bond. Here's to more martinis. I mean, I really,
I thought it was very good, and I would not. I would drink it again. Still no olive.
Yeah, you can absolutely order it just clean.
So do you have to be specific? Like, I want a clean martini.
Yes,
Clean
for
gin
sure.
martini?
If you just say, "Give me a martini," they'll probably drop an olive in
You
it.
say straight up, not dirty.
And you
can just say no olive.
You say shaken, not stirred. Make sure you specify. That's important.
That is important.
If you want it cold,
I do want it cold.
super cold.
I liked it cold.
Let's go back to the.
So did you ever say what your favorite James Bond movie was?
Yeah.
Now, I'm a fan of Live and Let Die, in part because it was filmed right there around the corner in St. Tammany Parish, Louisiana. And that was probably the first James Bond movie that I ever saw. So it sort of ingrained in me sort of this theme, this idea of this cool guy taking on in this case, Bayou Hick sheriffs to solve crimes.
Yeah, because the first one was In Her Majesty's Secret Service, and I can't think of who that James Bond was. Bill?
Roger Moore?
No. He was a one-hit wonder.
He was not a one-hit wonder.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was. He was only in one James Bond movie.
What's his name? Remington Steele.
No. Yep.
George Lazenby.
Yeah.
Okay.
In Her Majesty's Secret Service.
So how many different James Bonds have there been?
So there's
5?
George Lazenby, Timothy Dalton, Roger Moore, Sean Connery, Daniel Craig.
And then one more. That's the guy that
Remington Steele.
The guy that played Remington Steele.
Wait. I want to go back to something. Are you telling me that Roger Moore only played James Bond in one movie?
No.
Oh, okay. When you said one-hit wonder, I was...
No, the George Lazenby from In Her Majesty's Secret Service.
He was the one-hit wonder.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Whew. I was getting really worried about my own memory here.
And I would say Timothy Dalton was the worst.
No arguments.
Pierce
He
Brosnan.
wasn't great either.
But it's
He was
a
pretty
crucial.
good, Remington Steele.
There is this. The character has got to have this beautiful mix of sort of panache and confidence and creativity and clever and really good acting, and they have to be dashing because man,
Yeah.
all those female co-leads. Oh my gosh.
Gosh, did you just describe yourself?
No, I was looking at you while I was saying that, Lee,
Yeah.
with your gun show out.
Yeah. So,
But it is a great it's just a great series and it carries on. I think we will be seeing James Bond movies, I hope, for the next 20 years. Our children's children will be watching James Bond movies.
I love spy movies and suspense thriller types.
Well, they're just cool, and then they're just all the gadgets,
The gadgets were
gadgets.
fun.
The gadgets were always good. I mean, yeah.
I mean, because one of my favorites was Roger Moore, and he had that Lotus Esprit with the white car that turned into a submarine.
I forgot about that. The Spy Who Loved Me, yeah.
And then, all the pins that had acid in them or whatever, and they could, and the watch with the laser.
Watch with the lasers and...
I mean, all the gadgets.
Yeah.
I mean, just like, I want to be James Bond. Just
the car had
the
like
Aston
buttons.
Martin, the silver Aston Martin.
I mean, you could do all. I mean, you could fly. You could. Do
Oh,
anything.
man.
They were amazing.
That Aston Martin with the bulletproof shield that would come through, and then the oil slick and the machine guns and the headlights.
Shoot rockets out the back. You know.
Be able to change your license plate.
Oh yeah, the flipping of the license plate. I forgot about that
go.
one.
Need that in Memphis.
I think we have that in Memphis.
You don't think we have it?
I'm sure we do. Oh man, what else?
So I know on another episode where we had vermouth, one of the things that we talked about that was in a cocktail was sometimes it goes bad.
It does
right?
go bad.
Right. So
Yeah.
I decided to do a little research to find out the best ways to keep your vermouth. And the best ways to keep your vermouth are to, it's usually unopened good from 1 to 3 years if it's stored in a cool, dark place. So,
AKA a refrigerator.
and then the other place, if it's opened, you can store in the refrigerator for 3 to 4 weeks for best flavor, and 6 to 8 weeks you start to notice the deterioration and declines in the taste.
Man,
I don't even think it lasts that long.
And then in room temperature, if you leave it out, you got 3 to 7 days.
Wilson has had a Manhattan with sweet vermouth that had crossed the line.
It was bad.
It
was undrinkable.
Because I remember when the first time I said, I really enjoy a Manhattan, and he was like, ugh. It was because you had that one with the bad vermouth.
It's bad. You got to have good vermouth. Got to be fresh.
I would think that oxygen is your enemy also when you're talking about that.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with wine. Same with wine. And honestly, that can be your enemy with bourbon also. Don't ever store your bourbon where you can have in the sunlight or it gets in the heat and all that kind of stuff. You need to keep it in a cool place.
Or in a barrel.
And not in the sun. So, guys, this has been a lot of fun.
Yeah. Wilson, I'm glad we've introduced you to the Martini.
I thought it was very good. I was pleased.
Shout out Philip Smith.
Yeah,
Thank
Phil,
you.
thanks for the reminder on that one.
We do listen, guys. We do listen to people.
Yes.
So please reach out to us.
And Morningside Brands for Waymar Gin.
Bingo.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Do you guys know how you can reach us?
I do, but tell everybody.
Guys, you can reach us at 3 assorted crackers. 3 assorted crackers at gmail.com. That's the number 3. Also, you can find us on Instagram at 3 assorted crackers.
Yes, we can.
We have a YouTube channel.
Wow.
What are we doing on YouTube?
YouTube channel, we have reels, we have shorts, we have full episodes coming your way. Some of the older episodes are audio only, but all episodes on the go forward are going to be full video. You can find us at the number 3 assorted crackers, all one word. So
follow, like, and share, and especially the share part. If you like what you're hearing, we want you to spread the word
and subscribe.
Yeah,
subscribe and follow.
You like us,
so it just pops up all the time on your feed.
Well,
sure.
I mean, we're going to try to bring something to you every day.
Wow, that's crazy.
Kind of like the knife blade in my shoe, James Bond reference.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. Pops right up, pops right out.
Wilson,
I think we're done. Are we ready to wrap it up?
Wilson, you got anything to say? Wilson?
I do. And I appreciate Philip and anyone else that has any suggestions because we do want to try new flavors.
New flavors.
And we don't want to go stale, so keep them coming. We just thank you all very much, and you all have a great day.
Thank you, one-legged grandma.
Oh, my gosh. Did she swim in circles when she was swimming because she was kidding?
All right.
Wow. I'm so glad that we waited till the last episode.
I'm so confused.
Oh my gosh.
That was for you, buddy.
Farts are freaking funny. Love it.